You once said that only 1 person in 20 is a leader. Why do you say this?
You know, that idea has been around quite a while, Eric, and it manifested in a way in the Korean War. It was discovered that there were no prisoners of war escaping from the minimum security prisons in Korea ran by the Chinese. Americans didn't escape from the minimum security, they escaped from the maximum security. Now, why was that? Well, what we learned was the Chinese would watch the camp and pick out the leaders. They would see who were the apparent leaders that would gather men around them. They would pull these gentlemen out, put them in maximum security, and after that, they virtually didn't even need guards on the camp, because the people in the camp would no longer have the motivation to do anything. 1 in 20, we discovered 1 in 20, 5% are the leaders. And they're the ones that try to escape from the maximum security. So it is in the world, that most people, although we're all potential leaders, most people stay in their safety zones, and if they have enough to eat, comfortable, they won't try to go out of their safety zone.
You say that most people lack confidence in themselves, and that this blocks the self-actualizing process in 95% of the people. How do we create an impregnable self-respect that you say we need?
Eric, you can only respect yourself to the degree that you respect other people. That's the #1 problem. Most people live with grievances and rehearsed problems that they have with other people. Once we get past that baggage, we begin to exert ourselves into the area of action. If there was a line that ran this way, and assertive people were up here and non-assertive people were down here, at the center point, 95% of humanity would be in the lower part, non-assertive. Only 5%, the leaders, would be in the aggressive, assertive part. Only 1% of the entire group are mature leaders, self-actualizers. So we have 5% of the world really making the decisions, when all the gifts and wonders of the people in the lower part are lost because they lack confidence in themselves and think they don't have anything important to add.
Once we acquire an impregnable self-respect, you say we need to accept responsibility for the inner life experience. What do you mean by this?
Well, Eric, we all possess an inner life in which we are in charge. It's this inner life where all action and where we weave our destiny. We have total control over our decisions in this inner life, whether we decide to be happy or sad, or whether our attitudes toward any situation. This inner life is the key to growth, and this is what we must master. We cannot use this inner life to create havoc and nurse grudges. If we use it creatively, it will do wonders for us.
Larry, you write that resentments bar the way to our mental and spiritual actualization. Why is this so? And what do you mean when you say we must relinquish victimhood?
Eric, you know, 95% of the people actually carry this baggage with them, resentments. If we reflect on what we think about often we're thinking about things that happened in the past that we resent. This cripples the entire process of self-actualization. The inner life must be free and creative, and think of possibilities of the future, of all the wonders that are available to us if we think forward and not backward.
What do you mean by MetaThink genius? Do you really believe any normal person can become a MetaThinker?
I do, Eric, and this is a very important part of the MetaValues breakthrough. Remember, we talked about getting rid of the blocks to self-actualization by getting rid of resentments and taking responsibility for the inner life, respect for other people. Once we acquire that, we're able to go to another level. MetaThink is that level. Now, MetaThink is not science, it's not religion, it's not philosophy. What it is a is a synthesis of all three of these things. Any individual that can grasp this, and anyone can, it's quite simple, can achieve levels of thinking that they never dreamed possible. You know, John F. Kennedy, when he was president, was thought of as one of the great geniuses who ever had the presidency. His IQ was 119. Not astronomical, certainly high, but not astronomical. How did he hold sway over the most brilliant men on the planet? Because he gave the secret of his success in part before he left for Dallas in one of his news conferences. They asked him if he was happy to be president. He said, "Yes, I love being president." The Greeks gave the secret of happiness as full use of your powers along the lines of excellence. Now today, we require more of our leaders than they did in those days. Now the new interpretation is full use of our powers along the lines of integrity, caring, and excellence.